Welcome back to Step by Step, a podcast brought to you by Palmetto Conservatory of Dance. I'm your host, Antonia Diaz, and today we have our Class of 2025 episode. We have Pippa Garris and Nellie Stuckey with us. They are seniors. They graduated this past spring, and they're going to talk a little bit about their next steps and their first steps. Let me start with Pippa. Tell us a little bit about you, to give us a little introduction.
Okay, I started dancing at this particular studio when I was 4 years old, and I haven't left. So it's been kind of a long journey, and I've been here since Radinka was in charge, and Brianna's transitioned over. So it's been kind of like a broad perspective, just kind of seeing how everything's changed and being here for so long and being in so many different productions. Just kind of fun.
That's awesome.
I started dancing when I was 2. I started at USC, and then I came into the studio when I was 7 or 8, and that's when I met Pippa.
Yeah.
Because I've been dancing with her the longest. And so I was also able to see the transition from Miss Radinka to Miss Brianna and how she was able to almost naturally know what to do with the studio. And I'm glad that I was able to have such a long dance journey, especially here. It's
Awesome. What is one memorable moment that you have? And it could be many, but just one of those that it's stuck with you from your time in the studio.
Okay, I think during all the Nutcracker productions and everything, how everyone would be shoved in this tiny little room, and then we would all the little kids, we would all be lined up right there. I remember just watching everyone and that being the goal.
Yeah. I also really loved Nutcracker because a lot of the time, when we were little, we would always do a bunch of games while we're waiting for the show to start, or while we're not dancing, waiting for curtain call, or during intermission.
Bubblegum. Well, for our audience that is not in Columbia or hasn't been to the Coder Center, we always, we kind of make fun of the fact that there's a lot of dressing rooms. There's about 11 dressing rooms in the ground floor and the one that goes to the stage. But if you go down to the basement, there's 4 or 3 just big rooms where we put all our students in. It can be madness, especially in Nutcracker time and changes and all that. What has kept you motivated throughout the years? You've been dancing since you were very little, so motivation and expectation changes every single year.
I think because we have very supportive teachers like you, as well as very supportive classmates, I think that's really kept me going because they're always cheering you on, as well as family also really cheers you on and stuff.
I think just you kind of see a constant growth. There's very little times where you feel you're declining in your progress. So having that kind of constant motivation makes it harder just to want to quit.
Awesome. Is there any particular production that you remember and you're this was really great for me, or this wasn't really great for me? Any production that really stuck with you for the long run? I think
it was Snow White, but Mr. Radinko asking our level just to be props in the back because it was it wasn't the school show, it was a company production, so we weren't supposed to be in it, but we just got to be peasants and we got some of them.
I think that was
was it Little Red Riding Hood?
That was Australia because all of the company was dancing, and then there was a moment where they all just left and were just standing.
Yeah, we were just
Well, see, the country of learning how to be still. That's for sure. Wow, when was this? What year was that?
Maybe 2018. I'm trying to. I think or before
because
Clement was here.
Clement was here. Students who were here are not here anymore.
Okay. It was. I think it was 2017 or 2018. Around that time. It was before COVID. So I think we were 11 or 12.
Yeah. Because the older level, they got to do
because
the dolls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're
so we got the
very well, very well. And how about any teachers? You of course mentioned Miss Brianna and Mr. Radinko, which are just the founder key of the studio. But what memorable moments or what memorable teachers do you have that have really made an impact on you?
I would definitely say Clement because I feel even though we didn't have him for that long of a time, he knew what he was doing very well, and I feel like with him I made the most progress, especially from being like level 3 to like level 4.
Yeah.
And I would also say Miss Emma for me, because the first day I walked in here, she came up to me and was like, I'm probably gonna be your teacher.
Yeah.
And she was my first teacher.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing because Miss Emma was my first teacher, and I just remember we had so much fun in class. Like we would have inside jokes. Like we used to call her Miss Gemma, and it was her alternate like British persona. And then she would talk to us in a British accent. And then when I was Clara in 2020, was like my first big ish role. She was like the person who did all my rehearsals with me, taught me everything. So it was kind of special because it was like my first teacher. Over there.
Cute. That is so cute. Now that you've graduated high school, what's next for you? Tell us a little bit of what is coming.
College.
Where are you going?
I'm going to College of Charleston, and for my freshman year, I'm just doing all my basic classes so that way I can decide a major hopefully next year. Because we're trying to waste as little money as possible.
Important, yeah. Financials. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna continue taking classes, I think, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna like pursue it professionally. Probably won't. But I think it's just like it's such a fun way to stay active because it does not feel like compared to when I go to the gym and it's just boring and painful and I want to get off the stairmaster.
Yeah.
But during dance, it's like also an art form, so you're distracted and you're not just like want to get to your limit.
Absolutely.
I'm going to Converse University in Spartanburg, and I'm majoring in dance studies. So my 2 dance days are Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is a lot less than it is here, but it's better than And then, because I know, like behind the scenes, I originally said that I'm going to do like psychology. For Converse, I'm taking a psychology class to see how I like it, and then if I like it, then I may either double major or minor in psychology.
That's awesome. And I so agree with both of you. Like, dance sticks with you in a way, regardless when you've done it for so long. So what do you see yourself doing with dance in the future? I know Pippa just mentioned that it's a possibility or not to take it professionally, but you're going to stick to it at least to stay active. Because, like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't like going to the gym. So if I feel like working out, I'll dance, whatever dance, but I'll dance. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, like I said, I'm going to major in dance studies. That's mainly because I want to keep dancing, and I found that with Converse University, doing dance studies is a good way to do that. But I'm not entirely sure what I want to do it like in the long run. But we'll see how college does for me.
Yeah.
I'm a very artsy person, so I'm just excited to like. I get to see other new productions because obviously like there's kind of a limited number of productions you can't see in Columbia, South Carolina, just because we only have a few companies.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see like new dancers and just kind of get to experience just get some new talent with like a new art community, which I think will be fun.
Has dance shaped you in any way for this journey that you're coming to?
It's definitely made me realize that I can do a lot in one day, especially during the school year, because me and Nellie both, we never did online schooling for dance. We only did it, I did it for elementary school and then for COVID. But, because like this school year, I was in the IB program, which is basically all AP classes. So I was at school for all this time and I had about like 2 hours of homework every night. And I want to get home until like 8 or 8:30. So it definitely made me realize like I can push myself through a lot in one day, which I feel like has made me more productive, but I have to get into the system of doing like dance right after school and then homework right after dance, because otherwise I'll just procrastinate.
I definitely think that dance has taught me a lot about like discipline and keeping yourself like accountable, because I never did online school. The only time when I did it was for COVID. So like every single day I would go to school, get out at 3, come here, which starts at like 5 typically. So it's taught me a lot of like, okay, I can do this. It may like not feel good, but I can.
But I can.
I can.
That is awesome. Tell me a little bit about how COVID was for you, because you danced and studied during COVID. I tend to say a lot that I am so grateful that I was already graduated from high school when COVID came, because I don't know what would have been of me if I had to go online. Tell me a little bit about how that was.
Okay, we were both in 7th grade, I think.
Yeah.
So we had it the easiest because it wasn't the first year of middle school and it wasn't the last year of middle school. So we really just had it so easy. I just remember we would have like 2 hours of school in the morning, and then my friends and I would just like FaceTime.
Nice.
And then we did continue classes here for a long time into COVID until we couldn't for I think like a month. And we didn't have online classes here, so that was definitely kind of weird to have like such a long break. Especially I feel like when you're younger, it's so easy to once you get into the system of things and then getting taken out of it, it's so much harder to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because once we got like we were actually allowed back here, we had shows and stuff that we needed to do. So it was really weird. And then adjusting to wear masks and things in class, that was kind of difficult. But it was kind of nice because when we would cry in class, we would lift up the mask to cover our faces so Mr. Rodinko wouldn't see.
Oh, Lord.
COVID was definitely interesting because I went to a private school like my whole life. So we still had like our normal classes. Like classes would start at 8:10 and we would end at like 3. But that's also when I realized online school is not for me. I didn't know assignments. I didn't
think anyone did.
Yeah. That's exactly why I tend to say that I couldn't have done it, because I couldn't just sit in the same place for all those hours. I just don't know what I would have done.
I didn't learn anything.
I was going crazy.
We would be on our iPads on FaceTime or on Zoom, and then we would mute it, and then we would all call each other on our phones and play like Roblox. Because we weren't doing anything. We were reading like, we were trying to finish King Lear because we started in the beginning of the year, and we never finished it until 8th grade.
Oh my god.
But my science teacher, she was doing her best. She had us like going outside in like our front yards trying to find like absolutely anything.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's hard because imagine we have like when you're in science, you have some lab work, there's so many other things different than just sitting in a classroom and learning from a book that get really complicated. How was though dancing, and you mentioned some already, but how was it going back into things masked? Because you didn't have to be masked at home unless somebody was at risk or as we remember, but how was it coming back into things all masked up and having to perform with a mask too?
Interesting.
Honestly, I feel like from what I remember, all the younger kids, like our level, we really didn't have a big issue with the mask. We were breathing fine and things. But I do remember like some parents were complaining about it, which was just silly. I remember there was a bunch of unnecessary drama about like the face shields in that one family.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I also remember like if there was only like 4 people in class and we were in the big studio, Mr. Rodinko would like spread us out so we could like take off our masks and so we could breathe.
And then we'd have the Lysol everywhere.
Lysol, we would wipe down the bar after. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I wiped down
I
the
think it
bar.
would just Lysol the air.
Lysol everywhere. I mean, we all did. We all thought Lysol was going to solve all our problems, and you probably did solve some. That is crazy. You lived a whole pandemic already, and you were conscious for it.
Yeah.
So you can say in the future to your friends, to your kids, that one day you have some, you're like, I lived through a pandemic and I had to study dance, and I still graduated high school, so you can do it too. What do you wish though, and going back a little bit to your younger selves in school and in dance, what is something that you wish you could tell your younger self when you first started either school or dancing, something that you think your younger self would have liked to hear?
Like nothing comes to mind immediately besides the fact that like you can do this. Like I know it hurts because ballet hurts, but like you can do this.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have rocky roads, especially for me and my like whole thing. You're gonna have rocky roads, but like you're gonna be fine.
I think mine would definitely be more confident. I've always struggled with confidence. Like since I was like 4, I was like freaking out about everything, and I feel like just do it. Like like even if you look stupid or cringy, like you're a kid, no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
And if you don't move past that, then you're kind of constantly stuck.
Yeah, and I feel like you both, I mean, I've only taught you for so long, but I think you both have learned to laugh about being ridiculous at times, because
Yeah.
we have to be ridiculous at times. And when we think we're being too much, sometimes we matter being that much. So I think you've come a long way into knowing who you are in dance and what things you like to do and what things you don't like to do, because you're already going into adulthood. So it's like you have got to know those things as well. What are you most excited or nervous about what you're about to embark with your life?
A big one that I can think of is the fact that I've never switched schools. Ever. So this is like I know all the incoming freshmen are going to be new, but like, I've never switched schools in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect, I don't know what to do. Because I've been in the same system since I was like 5.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but it's okay.
Yeah. I feel like just not having like a support system, not having my friends or anything, just kind of sucks. Because I definitely rely on my friends a lot, especially like outside of dance, and of course with my dance friends. I feel like we're all very close, and like we talk almost every night. Like we have several group chats and things where someone's always trying to say something, and like so there's always a way to reach out. There's never, and we're all very close. Like. And we see each other like almost every day. We used to for like 4 hours. So,
like 6 out of the 7 days.
Which I guess can sometimes be a bad thing because it does cause infighting.
Figured. I feel like too you learn when you graduate who you're able to choose who you want to have around. At the end of the day, when you're in school, you are pretty much stuck with the people that you got, whether you like them or not. And thankfully, we are all able to make friends. But it's a great time to see who you actually want to keep in your circle. And your circle is going to get bigger, and people are going to come, and they're going to come back as well. So it's a great time. Nellie, how do you feel about leaving your uniform?
I mean, it has, whenever I see it, I feel a lot of emotion. Happiness, sadness, anger. But like, I'm happy to like let it go. It's like a new chapter. Like,
Be free.
yeah.
Be free.
I don't have to wear a polo every day.
That's right. And I'm asking exactly because of that. I went to private school as well, and I had to wear the same type of uniform for so long. So the day that I graduated, it was kind of like when you finish a performance, you're like, finally, I'm done. And then a week later, you're like, oh, I don't wear it anymore. So I'm glad you have all those emotions.
I have, like, I'm probably gonna keep all my sweatshirts and my crew necks, like, in my closet, but like, my polos, they can just, they can go to separate.
Yeah, it's all my tournaments.
Oh my god.
How do you feel about those new styles that you come to learn and that you've come to learn throughout your journey? Is there any particular style that you would like to work on more or keep for this new step in your life?
I really liked when we started contemporary. But I do wish we started other styles when we were a lot younger. Because it makes it so much harder to try to get like confident in a class like that.
Like, I wish we started contemporary earlier. Like, for Converse, they offer a lot of classes, like they have contemporary, ballet, tap, jazz. But also something that we do here is like salsa, bachata, Brazilian funk, and I wish they had that.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, I wish we started like Brazilian funk when we were younger, like what the current level 3s did.
I think so.
Because I think that's such a good age to introduce new styles. Because you like, at that age, you kind of decide if you want to stay in dance or if you want to like move to a different sport, which I know, like we've definitely seen a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So that kind of shows like at that age they're willing to try new stuff in dance, and they're actually going to be motivated and not scared.
Yeah.
Which I definitely felt scared when we started to.
We did it.
You did. What would be one advice that you want to give kids that are in the process of that exactly, deciding if they want to keep dancing or if they want to move to something else? What would you tell them as an advice?
It definitely depends on like how you feel. Like if you feel like very like unnaturally insecure in a dance class, don't do dance. But like if like when you are like in the studio, like even if like you're not dancing, you feel insecure, but then when you're dancing, you're like, okay, like this is fun.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
I would say definitely try a new thing. Because you never want to be stuck in one thing your entire life, because then you feel like you're wasting your life. Because I've had phases where I'm like, oh, I hate dance so much, I don't want to do it, but I've been doing it for so long that it's so hard just to stop. I'm happy I never stopped, but it does kind of suck when you're in that mood where you feel like you've wasted all this time.
Like I did other things on top of dance, like I've done soccer, karate, guitar, like piano, and like those 4 things, like they're awesome to do. But of those things, along with dance, my favorite was dance, so I stuck with it.
I'm gonna start wrapping up I want to know what your favorite dance step is. That's our step-by-step question every time we finish an episode, and I want to know what your favorite dance step is. It doesn't have to be from the ballet, or it could be, but any dance step that you want to bring.
Wrong person.
Nice. I feel like somebody already said that. I feel like Erin said that in her first season. Yeah. Well, I love it.
Maybe like quarter bras, because I feel like they add a bunch to like very simple steps, and it's like you don't need to be a great dancer to have like pretty arms and stuff, and it definitely improves like movement quality
And flexibility.
But even if you're not, like Leandra has a beautiful back and her quarter bras are crazy because of that. But I feel like even if you don't have that great flexibility, they still look really pretty.
Yeah, I support that. That was a very adult answer, I feel like, because the fact that you can begin to appreciate quarter bras just tells me that you are growing into dance. Just because we all hate bar at some point. And quarter bras is kind of like the thing that is a constant in all the exercises at the bar. So I love to see that. I love that. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Is there anything else that you want to add? Where can we find you? Because you're not going to be here. We're going to be very sad that you're not going to be here constantly. Please come back anytime. Come visit. Yeah, that's true. And your families are here, of course. But where can we find you? Do you keep up with your social media? Or do you stay up with your social media? Tell us a little bit of how we can keep up with you in the future.
I mean, I don't post at all. I don't post, but follow me anyway, because I might post.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave their Instagrams, handles, and
I sometimes post a story.
Yeah. It's a very artsy. I feel like Pippa has a very artsy, indie type of Instagram. So every once in a while I'll be like, ooh, who's this story? And it's like, oh, that's okay.
Because you just see like the perfect drawing, and you're like, wow.
Yes.
I was homeschooled for a while.
Well, awesome, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope I can see you very soon. I'm so glad I got to do this before you leave onto your orientation days. But thank you for being part of this. Of course, you have a home here. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to show you this is not only here for the sign. I do want you to take these home. And either put them on or put them in the wall, or if you
I'll put it in my graduation.
like them, take them with you to your dorm. And I do want you to have one that I'm sure you have one from your high school, but that is your PCD graduation.
I actually don't have one.
Well,
We didn't even do caps and gowns.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm gonna have to add like a picture of you two in each one graduation day.
All my graduation stuff. And walking around and all that.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, and thank you everybody for watching. Stay tuned for our next guest.